Hey you guys, and welcome to my #AYEARATHON mental health wrap-up video. So, I had a goal of 3 books for the #AYEARATHON. Yes, I know I'm so late on this wrap-up, but I spaced and forgot about it. But I had a goal that week for at least 3 books, which has been like my goal set these past few #AYEARATHONs, and I made it again. This time I didn't go over. I was kind of sad about that, but hey, making my goal was the most important thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started, and I'll link my TBR down below if you guys are interested to see the other books that I didn't get to, and if you want to recommend that I should get to one of those books. The first book that I read was Impulse by Hopkins. This was our group read as well, so I'll link that discussion down below, the spoiler and the non-spoiler, if you guys are interested and you want to join the discussion. If you guys have read it or you plan on reading it soon and you just want to talk to other people who have read it. And I gave this another 5 out of 5 stars. It was a reread for me. I already knew going in that I was gonna love it again, probably. I mean, there's always that kind of like enough time has passed and you're just like, am I? But no, I was right. It follows these 3 teens who have tried and failed to commit suicide, and they all end up in the same institution, and we just kind of follow like their recovery process, as well as seeing how they interact with family members and what drove them to try and commit suicide in the first place. I really liked each of these characters. They're each individuals and very distinct, so none of the characters could be accused of being like interchangeable with one another, and it was very fluid, fast-paced book, and I really enjoyed it, and you guys should definitely give it a try. Even if you have never read anything in like poetry form before, I definitely recommend it. And then the next book that I read was It's Kind of a Funny Story by Ned Facini. This follows this boy who has been having problems, and he starts having suicidal thoughts and decides to check himself into a mental hospital. I gave this one like a 4.5, but ended up giving it just like a 4 stars on Goodreads because, you know, there's no half stars. But I gave it a 5 stars at first, and then I was like, nah, I want more 4 stars. Because once in a while I was just kind of like blah in this book and some of the descriptions. But really, I did really love it and enjoy it, and the writing and watching it. You just watch him go through like the past, like how he got to this point and the reasons behind it, and like checking into the hospital. And I really enjoyed this novel, and I know it was kind of weird to get to a little bit because, you know, the author committed suicide, and this was semi-autobiographical for him because he too checked himself into the hospital, but this is like a really fictionalized version. And then I watched It's Kind of a Funny Story again. I had saw this first like when it came out, and then I picked up the book, and then I waited a really long time before I watched it because I wanted to read the book. But I remembered enough of the movie to kind of not be surprised by some things, but there were definitely differences in them, and I really enjoyed the book more, of course, because, you know, once you read the book, you know, you're like, that's not how that's supposed to go. And some people might not consider them big changes, but I feel like for this type of novel, it kind of was. So that's the only reason I didn't. I'm just probably not going to watch It's Kind of a Funny Story again. And then the last thing that I read was Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll, illustrations by Camille Rose Garcia. So if you guys have never seen this edition, it is a beautiful edition, and it was really nice to stare at as I did my reading. Now, I also listened to the audio version along with this. It wasn't the audio version that I could have bought because there is one that has like this picture on it, so it was made specifically for this edition. But I listened to the one that was free for Prime members, and that was read by Scarlett Johansson, and she really did a great job. I would definitely listen to it in the future. Now, reading along with this one's kind of different because she, like, even though it says unabridged for this edition, she didn't read like I paused and read like the full songs and stuff like that. But other than that, there was nothing major, just like a sentence here or two that was cut short. So if that is probably going to annoy you, then yeah, at least you know beforehand. But I enjoyed both versions, and I gave them a 5 out of 5 stars. It probably could be done with a little bit, say I had nostalgia goggles, because I loved Alice in Wonderland growing up, and of course I really enjoyed the Disney version, and they got it pretty close. Now they didn't have Tweedledum and Tweedledee in this book, which I kept expecting, so I'm gonna have to read through the Looking Glass really soon, because apparently that's where they're in. So I'm really looking forward to the next. I don't own it, so I'm gonna either get it for the library or probably read it from the library and then eventually buy it. So yes, I give this one 5 out of 5 stars. So those are the books that I read. You guys, let me know down below if you guys have read any of these books or listened to any of these books, what you guys thought of them. Have you seen the movie adaptations? What are your thoughts? And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.